Well, thank you, Richard, and good morning and welcome to the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open 2014. And our first match here at the Dewars Centre in Perth features the Welshman Jason Greenslade versus the Irishman Graham McKee. My name's Janice Gower and I'll be joined shortly by Richard Maddison in the commentary box. Interesting game up here, like I say, it's Wales versus Ireland. Jason's opener there is a length ball to a fairly shortish jack. And I've now been joined by Richard. It's an interesting match here, Richard. One of the regulars on the World Bowls Tour circuit, Jason Greenslade, versus fairly newcomer, but very consistent player from Ireland, Graham McKee.
Yeah, I think most people will be supporting him over in Ireland, tuned into the YouTube stream. He's did very well over there in the qualifiers, so...
Yeah, he's got to a couple of finals in the past over there, and I think he did really well in the World Pairs once with his partner that a lot of people know, which is Gary Kelly. So very consistent partnership there. He's been in the final count-up for the Commonwealth Games a couple of times for Ireland as well. So no mean player, but of course Jason's got the experience out there.
Well, yes, it's always once you step out onto the blue portable rink, it's a different beast. So...
Jason was very consistent here last year. He just lost out in the semi-final, so he'll be wanting to go a couple of rounds better, I would think, this time up here. It's a surface he does like. And a very good effort here from Jason, just nudging Graham's bowl through. Graham looks on a wide line here, but if it's a length, it will make the trip back. It's just hung out a little bit. And Jason looks wide with this as well, but you might just be going for the back option because Graham does like to play his runners, and there is the option there for a little bit of a trail through. Well, I think he's had a look at it, Richard. I'm not sure whether he's going to play it with weight or just over the draw, because a little touch on the jack would get him 3 anyway.
Well, he's looking fairly good.
In the area, all on pace.
Yeah, look at that.
Very good bowl.
Absolutely
good
drawn it to a tee.
That'll have calmed his nerves a little bit. Match official walking towards us. Hill's the marker today. We have Brian Daly as the umpire, and I believe it's Dan Blewett on the shot clock. So we have the 3 guys out there at the moment, but of course we've also got Sandra McLeish here. So a really good squad of umpires. I think that's given me a drink off Brian Daly for saying a really good squad of umpires here.
Yeah, well, you know, the team that WBT carry, they do go through the mill. Anybody coming onto the team gets a thorough vetting, shall we say, before we go live on television. And I like to think that we carry a really, really good professional team around with us. And of course they're dedicated to World Bowls Tour, do everything for you that you need doing, as well as being totally professional when it comes out to being on there. Graham dropped one a bit short there.
Yeah, again, probably still a little bit nervous early on in the game. Jason's got the experience, so that will probably come to pay here. Again, a bit of a feeler bowl from Jason there. Very good length.
This one looks better from Graham. Nice line. Coming down quite nicely.
Still just finishing that touch short though. It's always interesting opening ends of games, isn't it, Richard, where it's sort of a bit of cat and mouse and just feeling your weight and feeling your line and settling down more than anything.
Well, like I've always said, that the top 16 have an advantage in many ways over people that qualify. They've been here, they've done it. But when somebody who has just qualified steps out onto a ranking event for the first time, brilliant bowl from Jason there. But as I was saying, steps out for the first time, it's suddenly very, very different. There's a whole rink there, television cameras looking at you, and it takes a bit to settle down into it.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Jason's been a regular on the World Bowls Tour for several years. In fact, he's got a bit of history possible here this week because he actually won this event 10 years ago to the day. So he's got experience of playing in the Scottish. He's obviously won the Welsh as well in the past. So very, very experienced player. Been all over the world as well. Very good line here from Jason again. Just all on his pace. Needs it to just run a touch further now. Well, it looks like from here it might have just made, but it's hard to tell from the angles. Well, Graham, very good line here. All
Certainly
on his
got, yeah, he's just missed it, but a good second bowl.
Yeah, the early stages of a game, qualifier doesn't want to let a seed run away, unless otherwise you start to get a bit panicky of ends left. Whereas if Graham can just keep it tight to begin with, he always stands a chance. Do you think the shot clock affects the qualifiers as well, Richard, more than the seeds that have sort of got used to it a bit now?
Well, it depends. I mean, you speak to some of them and it doesn't bother them in the slightest. They actually put it out of their mind. Others, yes, they do think about it. But, I'm fortunate enough that I do go round the qualifiers, running the qualifiers with others on the team. And the players don't really take a great deal of time in playing a bowl. So I don't think it affects them to a massive degree. Where it does really come into play is towards the back end of any set, where they're probably looking for shots and they need the additional time. In discussion with players, that was why we've increased the timeouts to 5 this year. So they get 5 timeouts in a match and an extra timeout automatically when it gets to a tie break. So hopefully that will give them that little bit extra they were asking for.
Yeah, it's when sets are really tight towards the end of a set that you need those timeouts to use them to make in your hope the right choice of shot.
Yeah. Graham just slightly losing his line there. good length.
Jason looks a very good line here. It's all on his weight again. They both just seem to be fishing a little bit at the moment for the pace. It does change over the day here. Wherever the portable rink's put down, it has different paces as the day goes on. As people come in or people go out, it heats up and cools down.
Well, yeah, but knowing that we keep the temperature, or try to keep the temperature to a steady 21 degrees in the auditorium, but of course volume of people will affect it, and it will change by, you know, possibly as much as a yard, depending on the number of people coming in. It's a bit quiet out there this morning, but it's normally is for the first sessions of any of the ranking events.
It's
we
also
have to start.
Saturday morning, and they're recovering from Halloween parties last night, probably.
Yes, I heard a few. I did hear a few going on. But no, it's always difficult. The first 2 days of any event are always difficult to get lots of people coming in. But already the back end of the week is filling up very nicely. So
I think Graham's just lacking weight again here. He's really just struggling for the pace. He's letting Jason get away with a few shots here. If you do that with your first 2 or 3 bowls, you put a lot of pressure on your last bowl.
yeah, but again, it comes down to something you said earlier, Janice. You know, I watched Graham practicing, and he was peppering the jack. But it's different when you step out to play the match. You suddenly then become aware of television on you, knowing that people are going to be at home watching you on the streaming, and it just adds that little bit of pressure, where to the seasoned veterans like Jason, they're so used to it, they just get on with it. And I do think it does affect new qualifiers in their first ever major.
Graham's got a bit of a shot on here if he fancies playing it. He's probably 3 down anyway in the head, so he could play over the weight on the backhand. Hope to get anything of Jason's away, and the ideal is to get a little touch on that jack to his back bowl. Yeah, he's seen it and he's playing it.
You definitely called it right.
Yeah, good result.
Well, that was
really got the ultimate result
yeah,
there.
he did there. He did there. As you said, it's difficult to say from the angle where we're sat in the commentary box, but definitely one possibility of a 2. No, just
I think Alan called it 1 there. It was still a good shot anyway. He had several chances down that backhand and played it well. Now he might make a change in the length here, just to try and get his own pace. He's gone slightly longer with the jack. Sometimes people feel if they play a longer jack, it gives them a better chance to reach through the bowl and get a better pace.
I suppose the other thing that viewers don't realise is that when you're in the comm box, you can see some of the match, but you can't see it all, so you're commentating off a TV screen and the pictures, and you can't always call what the angles are.
Yeah, it's some events when we get overhead, you can tell a little bit easier whether a bowl's closer or not, but the viewing's very good from the commentary box here. I mean, I've commentated over the years in little black back rooms where you can't see anything apart from the screen, so it's nice to be able to see out and see what's going on out there. And Graham wants to reach this bowl of Jason's now. He needs that extra yard in his first. Good line here. Very good ball, Graham.
Drawn it perfectly.
As I mentioned earlier, both experienced players indoors and out, but Jason has played a lot representing Wales all over the world, Commonwealth Games, World Championships. Graham's really now just getting into the Irish setup and the Irish team. But a lot of us that know him from the qualifiers don't like to draw him in the qualifiers because we know how consistent he is, and he does play the Belfast greens very well. Bit of a spring on his step here, Richard. It looks like he might be in the area for that back bowl.
Certainly picked a nice line, all on his weight. He's very nice.
Good ball.
Very good bowl. Now, will Jason elect to play a little runner here, or will he just go for a... Looks like he's going to go for a little runner.
Yeah, you don't want the head to build up too much against you, and he's very close with this. Any sort of connection gets him a result.
Well, the jack will be respotted, but lucky for Graham, his bowl only rolled a few rolls, so he will still hold the shot.
Yeah, more room for Jason though. If Graham can nail this, it'll put Jason back under pressure, but he did open it up. It was a good bowl, really. Jason lost in the semi-final here last year in one of the best games I think I've ever watched on the portable rink against the eventual champion Nicky Brett. They tied the first set and Jason was very unlucky to just lose the second set by one shot, but it was a humdinger of a game. So like I say, he's very comfortable here in Perth.
Well, Jason's picked a really wide line. If he's got his weight right, he will finish perfectly on the jack. Yeah, very absolutely good. Spot on.
Well played.
So, Jason picks up a single there.
Well, it's all going in ones so far, so it's all being kept tight. Jason going back to a slightly shorter length again. I'm sure a lot of the other commentators and players would say that sometimes Jason's one of the players who is unpredictable to call with shots as to what he's going to play. But from what I've watched, he tends to be a significantly draw or drive player, and he will not let a head build up against him. He will go with his second or third bowl and try and put himself back in a positive position. Good opener again there from Jason.
Graham's certainly picked a nice wide line. Perhaps just a tad too wide for it to get right back to centre. Length looks very good.
Again, that can be a major factor on the portable here, can't it, about what choice of bowl the players use with.
Well, all players have their own preferences.
When I asked Jason before he went on to play what he was playing with today, he said Old Faithful. So I'm assuming he's out there with his Tiger 2s. And I noticed that Graham's playing with the Aero bowls. Plays with Aero Revolution, like I say, very consistent with them. on the Belfast surface. Just looks to be hanging out here, Richard, again.
Well, it's just a tad wide in his draw, really.
Perfect weight with both of them.
Another really good line from Jason. Got his weight
very good ball.
spot on again.
Again, it gives Graham that backhand trundler if he wants it again. He found it well at the last end going this way. Yeah, he has turned over.
Well, he's taken a tighter line.
Yeah,
It's very, very difficult to play a tight line on the portable rink. Very difficult. They do swing away very quickly.
Yeah, it's unforgiving, isn't it? I mean, sometimes it can make you look a really bad bowl, but on a club surface that would have probably held. But on the portable rink, it's got such nice swingy lines that bowls just go very, very quickly. And Jason will be wanting to stop the running bowl here, try and split those three bowls up of Graham's. Once you are holding a couple of shots, it's worth looking where your opponent can pick up more shots.
Well, certainly he's either got a dead draw or he's got to be playing a slight runner here. Pick the jack up, move it a couple of foot.
I think even a lot of weight Richard Reespot would do Graham. The power of good, yeah, he's gone with a lot more weight.
He needs a bit of ride off here.
And that was a bit what we would say fortuitous. That was one of the words I looked up in the dictionary before I came out this morning. Again, from the angle here, you just can't quite tell which bowl's closest.
Yeah, call for a measure.
Yeah, Brian Daly's been called into action.
Yeah, Brian just asked them to move two bowls away to ensure they're measuring the right ones that the players are questioning.
Looks fairly tight between those two. The outside green and the outside red, it looks fairly... Jason's bowl turned away, so it was one red. But Graham was 2, possibly 3 down there, so again, just the one shot leaves the score currently at 3-2 at 5 ends. 4 ends to play. We play 9 end sets once we get to the TV stages. In qualifiers, they play 7 end sets. It was something that Graham was just making sure of before he went on today. He said to me, "It is 9 end sets here, isn't it?" And I said yes, because he's so used to playing 7 end sets.
Well, neither player's running away with it, so it's going to be quite a tight set currently. Jason again opting for his shorter length that he favours.
Good opener here.
You can see why.
Well, Graham looks on a very good line here. It could just be his pace, but it's always better to put your bowl just slightly through than slightly short. Gives you options further on into the end.
He's not going to make it with this one, just dropped it a bit short. Still leaving Graham a nice draw in on the other hand.
Well, Graham's only got to adjust his weight slightly. Like I say, his experience internationally should help him to do that.
And it looks like he's
Very
done it
close
perfectly.
Here. Yeah, good
Yeah.
ball from Graham there. He's kept it tight every end. He's made sure that Jason hasn't got away from him too quickly, and he's given himself a chance.
Well, Jason's certainly hunting it again.
Very close
Coming
with
in
this.
very, very close with it. Well,
Great bowl that. Yep, he's won it. Alan Thornhill, the marker's just indicated that it's 1 red, 1 to Jason. Graham's got the shot again to just tap his own bowl here though, and Jason's would go out the head. His body language is saying he's too wide, and yeah, body language never lies.
Jason going for a cover shot.
Yeah, well, I think Graham's learnt now that he's probably better on the drive than playing that foot over bowl, so he might turn over now onto his forehand and actually play through to that bowl. It's a tricky one, Richard, because if he takes his own bowl out and drops a 2, but he might just stick to just trying to tap his own bowl.
He's certainly looking for it.
I think he's done the
But I think
tight.
it'll go again.
Yeah.
Just too tight. Just tried to play that slightly overweight runner, which on the portable really is one of the hardest shots to play.
Yeah, he's trying to play that perfect bowl, and sometimes.
But once again, it's only a single, so that is the scores all square between them at the moment. Is that right?
No, it's 4-2 to Jason. He's just picked up the last 3 ends in singles, so that's 4-2 with 3 ends to play, but it's still within possibility. He's back on his favoured short mark.
I think I need to put a different pair of glasses on because I was looking at the wrong thing then, which is why I said I thought it was all square. But there you go.
That's why it's always handy to have a pad and a pen in front of you just in case the technology fails us for a short time. Can't beat a pad and a pencil.
Good opening bowl from Jason there. Graham looking for the draw, but can't quite. Yes, he's coming in
Just
quite
sneaks past
nicely.
it.
Just
good
edge
bowl.
past it. Now that's a very good bowl because that leaves Jason with a dead draw option.
And again, it's meaning that Graham isn't letting Jason run away.
Hmm.
You know, drop a 2 or a 3 at this end and you could be in deep trouble for the set. He looks on that wider line again with that one, Richard. I don't know whether that's going to make the trip back or not.
Well, he's
spectators can't see the score. There's no score on the television screens.
The joys of running a tournament, and trying to do a bit of commentary as well. It's early days in the tournament here, so obviously one or two technical things cropping up. Hence why I've got my pad and pen here telling me that the score is currently 4-2 to Jason.
Well, another very good bowl by Graham there.
Yeah, now Jason might try something here. He's got the possible shot of his own bowl onto Graham's. If he plays it with the right sort of weight, there might be a little nibble on the jack to his back bowl. It's either that or the dead draw, but I think the percentage bowl is slight weight onto his front bowl. First time out called.
Yes, he judged that to a tee before he called it.
Big decision on shot here really for Jason. Yeah, I thought he might play that bowl if he gets his own front bowl through.
Very close.
Very close. Oh,
yeah,
what a great bowl.
Super bowl.
What a great bowl.
Lovely conversion shot.
Great to be able to call them, even more great to be able to play them. And Jason has got every shot in his armoury. Now that puts immense pressure back on Graham now.
Yeah, looking at the screen, he's definitely 2, possibly 3 down. Well, I definitely think that was a slip.
Yeah, very wide. Oh, costly end for Graham, but Jason played the shot perfectly. That two's a big change in the score now, because Graham hasn't scored now for the last 4 ends. Jason's in control of it and he's now 6-2 up with 2 ends to play.
Well, Graham will just have to sort of dig deep, steady himself. You know, in the sets game, you can lose the first set, then go on to take the second set, and then there is, of course, the tie break, which is something totally different. The tie break is one where you could see it go either way.
In fairness to Graham, Richard, he hasn't really let Jason get away with it until that end. And then, unfortunately, putting the bowls just that bit short really set it up for a Jason Greenslade's type shot. And Jason played it to perfection, which puts him in control of this first set.
Well, both players dropping a bit short with the opening bowls on this end.
Yeah, that sort of bowl doesn't help Graham, as he needs to be picking up a count now. 2 1s wouldn't do him. So now's the time not to be putting in short bowls. But as I say, Graham will know that. He's very experienced internationally now. In fact, he's having to forego the Irish trials for the indoors international series this week, because they're being held this week while he's over here. But I'm sure that will be taken into account when it comes to selecting the Irish team.
Well, he's picked a decent line. It's all on his weight, really. Just tad too far.
Jason will just be looking to put something else close here. He doesn't have to do anything amazing. He just has to keep the games tight now for the next end, possibly two. If Jason scores at this end, the set would be over. Well, this needs to be a length. It looks like it might be lacking.
Yeah. He'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, puts himself with a lot of pressure with his last bowl. And because if Jason counts here, the set's over and we're into a new set. Jason's second time out. It's points like this in a set where you use your timeouts to just steady yourself, make sure you've chosen the right shot to play.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's going to get past, is he? No.
Well, again, there's a shot on here for Graham. Well, we know it's 1 to red. If Graham thinks he's got a chance of 2 seconds, there is a shot to take Jason's bowl out. And really, at this stage of the game, you've got to try something. Yeah, he's played it. Got it, good ball.
Yeah, super bowl.
Yeah, one shot to Graham there. It keeps him in the set. Well, Graham needs a good opener here. Yeah, that's not a bad start, Graham. He needs 3 to tie this or 4 to win the set, so he's kept himself in it right to the last end.
Jason picking the nice draw line with an excellent shot, excellent weight. If it just, well, it's not falling over, so very difficult to say who's got shot here.
Yeah, Graham needs to be reaching with this though, Richard, less otherwise, like I say, he needs a 3,
Well,
possible 4.
he's just tapped that and it's fell in. Has that fell in for shot?
Yeah, Alan Thornhill's just indicated 1 green, so Jason will just try to draw off his own bowl here. get another one in the head. Like I say, he's in the good position now where he's just trying to stop 3 shots. And Graham's got the shot on now of trying to just sit this length bowl of Jason's out. Needs to be reaching. Looks in the area for it. He's stalking it.
It's just going to bend in. Well, certainly Graham's built a head up there that Jason now needs to look at. Graham's leaving himself with a certainly good option depending where Jason now plays his 3rd bowl.
Jason really wants to just get something past those short 2 bowls of Graham's and something in the head.
Well, has he? No, he hasn't.
Oh, he's left Graham a huge shot here.
Graham. Well, actually,
Yeah, it might have blocked it slightly, but it's still there, you know.
there is a shot there for Graham. If he can just lift Jason's bowl, sit there for 4, although Jason does have the last bowl of the end.
Yeah, but the shot's there. If you can get it, it puts Jason back in the pressure position. He's got to get it first. Just a slight adjustment on his last delivery. Watch the stalk now from Mr. McKee. If he thinks he's close, he'll follow it up. If he thinks he's close.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Really unlucky.
Just caught his edge, which just drifted in past Jason's bowl.
It's first set to Jason by the 1 shot, 6-5. Interesting set there though, Richard, because Graham didn't let him get away, didn't let Jason get away from him really until that end where he set up the shot where Jason managed to get the 2 out of it.
No, he played it tight. He played, as you said, didn't let Jason run away with it. If he can just produce a few more close bowls, then, and as long as Jason keeps up his concentration level, because there is always the danger that when a player wins the first set, sometimes they tend to relax minutely, and that can have a different effect, whereas the other player raises again. Terrific opening shot
Great
from Graham
opener
there.
there from Graham. As you mentioned, he needs to pile on the pressure now early doors in this 2nd set.
Jason responding.
Just dropping that touch short, I think. He's urging this one on. He perhaps thinks it's short. It looks not a bad length to me. Yeah, another good bowl from Graham there. I think the set looks very good here in Scotland with the cooperative funeral care banners. Very good sponsors of our sport of bowls across the community, as well as at the television level.
Yes, they've certainly been very good. They've sponsored bowls, not just for WBT, but throughout many clubs as well.
think they
Well,
like to
Graham
pride
is-
themselves in the fact that they're grassroots sponsors as well. Graham's just left that a little bit short, but he's holding 2 at the moment, according to Mark Allen Thornhill. So Jason still just needs to reach, get another couple of foot in his last bowl.
He's definitely having a good think about it.
As mentioned earlier, Jason can sometimes play very unpredictable shots. You might have seen something that we haven't. I'm now trying to see what that might be. I suppose there is the chance of Graham's bowl onto Jason's bowl in the middle of the rink there. But as Jason's not got anything actually behind the head, I don't know whether it's worth playing at this point or not.
Well, he's certainly playing with a bit of weight.
He's close as well.
Yeah,
Very
he's looking
close.
for it. Yeah, well
Oh,
played.
Very exciting player for the crowds to watch is Jason, because he does go for the shots like that early on, and he plays them so well, Richard. One of the players on the tour that can play every shot.
Yes, he's certainly what I call an attacking player. Does not let things build up against him. Graham just looking for that draw in now.
Well, he's watching it again, and normally when Graham stalks a bowl, he thinks it's good.
He's just going to clip his own.
He might have turned that in. Yeah, 1 green. Jason's looking to take the bowl out.
It's just, well, that was a little bit of lady luck riding there. Came off the edge of the front bowl, which gave him a straightener.
Carry on with the counts of ones, Richard. There's not been anything more than a 2 counted in this game.
No, neither player's letting each other get away with anything.
Of course, Jason's looking to win a few games here to pick his ranking back up again. He did get as high as the dizzy heights as number 2 in the world. I think that was back in 2006, if the memory cells are working correctly, which was the year that he won the Welsh Open down there. Since then, sort of has dropped to 10, 11 and 12 for the last couple of years. So in that danger area, with a lot of the players now coming through, with the European Masters and 2 very good players coming through in that have chances of picking up points to get in the ranking tables. Players like Jason Greenslade need to be picking up the points to keep them in that top 16.
Yes, indeed. I mean, already the rankings for WBT, the system was changed 3 years ago. Some people felt that the top 16 was in there for life, basically, but the ranking system was changed, and we're seeing the results of that starting to come through now, where we have people sitting on the very edge of going out, and of course up and coming players, Colin Walker, currently at number 17, really looking to add a few more points to break into the top 16.
That's right, Richard. And I mean, another player that's just on the outskirts of the top 16 is, and I'm always going to say a very good player because I'm from the same club as him, but Mark Dawes. And Mark Dawes is one of the players that won one of the European Masters places, so he gets a wild card into all 3 of the ranking tournaments. So it puts players like Jason under that little bit of pressure of picking up some points, but he started this this end very well here, holding a nice 2. I think the recent player to show that it can be done getting into that top 16 has been Stuart Anderson. He was on the verges for a couple of years, and then once he broke in, he went on to win the World Championships and showed it can be done. Anybody can do it. Well played, Jason. Excellent. Well, piling on the pressure now a little bit.
Graham just looking to draw.
There's various different to rest off there. He just needs to be a length. Very good ball there. Jason's calling this. Very close here. Well played. Sets up a slight target for Graham. His danger is if he gets Jason's last bowl through the head onto his own, he could drop a 4. So my guess is he'll just try and adjust on his last delivery. He's playing that tighter line, Richard.
Yeah. So that is a line that many qualifiers will try because they're used to playing it in the clubs, and on the portable rink they will whip away like that.
So that's where experience of the portable rink comes in. Jason's certainly enjoying playing this shorter length. It does give the players that've got the draw or drive as their armoury the option that if they aren't
Well,
holding,
he's
they can...
gone a bit longer this time.
They've always got the option of the through ball, haven't they? A few more coming in to watch now. Of course, our next game up features a Scot, so that'll make a difference to the crowds. Great ball there from Graham. He has played very well.
Yes, for his first time on the portable rink, he's done exceptionally well. You know, he's not letting Jason getting it all his own way.
If you can get Jason into a tie break, anything can happen. I mean, I think most qualifiers, when they first come to these stages, think if they could get a tie break, they'd be happy with that.
Jason just played a superb bowl there.
Makes it hard for Graham here because any touch on that jack and it's going to Jason's, but he's got to get something else in the area.
Yeah, a tad too wide there, so it hung off.
Now Jason's just looking for a little bit of a shunt on that bowl. And Graham's going positive here.
He's very close to his own for a punch. Well done, well
Very good
played.
result there. Ball
Yeah.
followed through, stayed with it. Just having a look at a bowl here now is Alan. There's a bowl come out to the side of the ring that you can't just see in the shot to see whether it's in the rink or not, or it might have gone out of the rink. Brian Daly's walking to the other end of the rink with the telescope that will tell us whether the bowl's still in the confines of the rink or if it's gone out.
And of course, under these circumstances, what happens is the shot clock is placed on hold until the umpires and marker have determined whether or not the bowl is going to go off or stay on. Once they've determined that and made the decision, then the shot clock will resume.
The bowl's still in.
So the minute that's done, as you can see, the shot clock immediately starts ticking down again. Jason just looking for the nice steady
Very
draw.
close here. Very close. If it sits down.
I think he just wanted the bowl to sit down.
You reckon?
One green has been called, so Graham's still holding the shot.
He's just got the nice draw onto Jason's bowl now to pick up a 2, which would see him right back into this set again. It's good for pace, Richard. It might just be a bowl high.
Yeah.
Again, another plus for the officials there. It just shows
Jason just having a quick look to see if his bowl had sat down, would he have had the shot or not?
Yeah. As I was mentioning, the officials there showed how quickly they spring into action and keep the game flowing. I was hearing a story about the World Pool Championships last night, and apparently if a player disputes a shot in the World Pool Championships, they then personally have to go off and find an umpire, which can be in another room somewhere, who then has to come back to the table to then be described both players' opinions on what's gone on to make a decision. Our umpires are certainly not like that. Our umpires are there and on the ball and ready to make the decisions as quickly as possible to keep the games flowing.
Good opening shot from Graham.
Yeah, he's settled into the game now, Richard. He's showing how good a player he is.
Yeah, gone for virtually a full length jack. Obviously trying to.
Oh, Jason's not far away with this.
No. Good reply.
Gave that a little bit of a stamp. I think it's that short, and it is.
Jason once again looking for it, but just dropping that bit short. Good line for what he wanted.
And Graham needs to reach with this one, get another one in the head. And that's what we would call a good bad bowl, because it might be counting, but it gives Jason a clear view of what the length is and a very nice edge to just sit off. Just making sure he reaches with this. Perfect target there.
Again, he's got the bend, but
Probably just didn't have enough weight as well. Chance for Graham to pile on the pressure here if he can get another bowl in the head.
certainly got the line, all in his weight now.
Oh, it's a good bowl here from Graham.
Yeah.
I don't think Jason will be short at this.
Yeah, it's just been called 3 shots to Graham.
Got to have some sort of result.
Well, he's definitely going to get a result here.
Now that's the worst result he could have possibly
Yeah.
got. He really wanted the jack clean or a thick edge off one of the bowls, but I think on the respot he might still be 3 down here. That's why it's always worth piling in the bowls, because running shots can go one way or the other.
Yeah. Been given us 2 shots. We're not sure whether that was given us 2 or 3. Couldn't quite hear that one. We'll give you confirmation as soon as we get it.
Well, Jason indicated 2 at Graham, and Graham nodded, but like you say, from our angle up here, it's just hard to tell. Yeah, so it was 2 shots, so it's 3 all after 4 ends. It was really lucky, Jason, there that that wasn't a 3, because it looked like it had flicked out that side for a 3.
Yes.
Graham's put up a very short opener there.
That's one thing you can't really do, but at this level. Having said that, Jason has overcompensated and popped one. He'll call that his forward-thinking safety shot.
I'll remember that for next time. It is a different length. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now.
Well, a good adjustment from Graham here. Still gone through a bit, but not a bad bowl.
Jason's changed his hand. Not the tightest of ends we've seen
Well.
in play.
No. Bit loose from both at the moment. Little wry smile from Jason.
Well, Graham might have swapped his hand there, because Jason's bowl looks right on the drawing
Danger
line.
being wrecked.
He just managed
Just
to
slid
sneak
past
under.
it.
Jason has changed his hand. Looks a clearer way in. He just needs a length with this bowl.
No, he's just dropped short again. Just nudged Graham's bowl.
How often do we see it after really tense ends? There's a bit more of an open end. Graham's got to change his hand here. Nice forehand draw. All on its pace.
Well,
Thornhill's indicated 2 green, so it must have got into the count. I think Jason will just do a forehand draw here now and try to and just beat the last ball of Graham's. He's got a chance of being shot if he does.
well, he's gone for that high line, looking for the nice draw in. It has to be spot on weight to be able to get it though. Just going to drift. No.
Well, I think the umpire's being called. Nice picture there of the colour of the bowls. Of course, in WBT televised events, if you're the top half of the draw, you play with red bowls. If you're the bottom half of the draw, you play with green bowls. So you can have to swap your bowls colour each game. The advantage of winning a tournament, i.e. Nicky Brett is our defending champion here, is he would stay red throughout the tournament if he was to go and win it again. Well, Graham's taken the lead in this set now, and he needs to try and have a good end here to maintain that momentum. Definitely body language looks like he's settled into this now.
Just played that one a bit tight, just drifting off the line. Weight wasn't too bad. Little shake of the head from him. As always, Jason doesn't let things like that go unpunished. Good bowl.
Well, Jason would be disappointed in the last end, dropping a count of 2.
He's got a good line with Graham.
Is he reaching?
Yeah, look at that.
Jason's watching this. Just needs to either rest his own bowl down or get a little bit of a wee shuggle off the front bowl. There you go.
Graham's still holding. Just heard the marker call that.
Needs to get inside his own ball with this. Well, that's not finished badly for him.
Is it touching it, please?
Gap on the green ball is 1.5 inches.
On the side ball?
Your nearest ball, 2.5 inch gap, and it's almost jackpot.
This is on the high line. He was just looking for the inside of Graham's bowl to get back to the jack, I think, there, and he's just drifted that ball high.
Well, it's not finished too bad. Still does give him an option of trying to play just to get the jack to drift through to the back.
I think Graham will be trying to cover Jason's last bowl now. That's a danger area. He isn't. He's sticking with the draw down this hand. I don't think he was too pleased with his first bowl down the forehand, so he's favouring to stick to the backhand, put that in a good position. Jason's gone on a tighter line. Very close to Graham's bowl here. Another shot to Graham. He's piling on the pressure a little bit in this second set. Here we say the seventh end is a key end, and we're going into the seventh end now. Graham's 6-3.
Good line from Graham in this opening bowl. Just a bit through, but really good line finding back the centre.
Yeah, favouring to put the jack on the tee again coming this way, which was where he picked up the 2 at the last end in this direction. Jason just struggled for his pace this way. I don't think he'll do that 2 ends on the trot in one direction. Well, then that's dropping a little bit short. Great line. Both players found the line there.
Well, Graham losing an opportunity there.
Jason looks a good line again. Better bowl here. If it sits down. Good bowl from Jason now. Graham just wants that adjustment on weight to reach that last bowl. He's following it up. Close here, Graham.
How far the ball?
Gap is 4 inches.
Jason will just be looking to tuck this jack round the corner. Looks to be lacking a bit of weight. Just turn to it now. Yeah, good bowl there.
Doesn't want to hit the jack. Well, got away with it. Yeah, Alan has indicated it is one red.
As you were very close and yeah.
Graham again looking to either turn his own bowl down or just rest off the back bowl. Just on
Looks
that high
overweight.
line.
Yeah. So a chance for Jason to add another to tighten the match up again.
He was close to being perfect with his last bowl, Richard, so slight adjustment. His mind two or
Just
three
got
times
the-
on the mat there as to which hand he was going to play.
Just got that away with 2 seconds to spare on the shot clock. Well, he's looking, but I think it's dropping. Yeah.
It's one to Jason there. So Graham's 2 shots up with 2 ends to play. I think Jason was just confirming how many timeouts he had there with the umpire Brian Daly. It's changed this year, hasn't it, Richard? They've got 5
Yes.
throughout the game now. So I think Jason was just confirming how many he had left, because obviously we're getting to the last 2 ends of the second set, and that could be vital.
Well, he went a bit too wide there.
Graham's urging that on. It looks a nice line from here. It's just his weight. Further it rolls now. It's a bad start. Two loose openers there from Jason. Jason's urging this one on. This is a bit of an interesting end, this. Pressure on both players, really. If Graham can win this end, it puts him in a really good position going into the last end of the set.
Well, that is true, but unfortunately neither player is really finding this length very well. Having said that, Graham is still urging his bowl up. Yep, that's definitely 2 to Graham.
Jason doesn't want to leave it that way, because if it's 2 to Graham, leaving him that much room to draw in another, 3 would give Graham the second set. Still that nice backhand draw though. I'm sure Jason will be looking to... He's got the right line.
Well, he's...
Excellent bowl by Jason there.
Has he done enough, or is that still one? That's
It's
still
still
two.
You see, from our commentary position, that looked like it might have got second bowl from here. So Graham's holding 2. If he can slot another one in here, we'll be into the first tie break in the first game. This is all on his pace, Richard.
Well, I think he went a bit too wide, plus a little bit overweight.
Two's handy though, that gives him a 4-shot lead in this second set. Jason, of course, having won the first set, if he could pick up a 4 here and tie it, it would give him the game. Well, Graham's looking for a nice opener here, just running a touch, but
Absolutely perfect line, but as you said, he's just run through, possibly a yard.
conscious that he won't want to be short here though. That's the thing. Don't set up any targets for Jason to be able to get a 4. And Jason's got a good reply here. Good reply from Graham as well.
Yeah, that sort of sets it up, making it difficult for Jason to pick up a 4 to force a match win for himself.
4-run draw for Jason here. Get another one in the head. Looks good. Looks very good.
Yeah, very good indeed. That gives him 2 so far.
It's a tight line, Richard.
It does, but if he can just hold it and perhaps edge off the front edge of his own, but no, he's just dropped it that bit short. So Jason currently holding 2 of the 4 he needs.
And Jason puts another one in now and it puts Graham under a lot of pressure. Those nerves start kicking in a little bit now. Jason looks a very nice line. And pace is looking good as well.
Yeah, coming in very nicely. There we go. That's 3 of the 4. So, last bowl from Graham. He needs to be in amongst that 3.
Under normal circumstances, you'd just say you're just playing to that last bowl of Jason's. But last end of a set, all the nerves start kicking in.
Well, he's playing a runner. Now he needs a bit of luck here. Done it.
Yeah, as I mentioned, once nerves start kicking in, you start to think, what's the percentage shot? And he played it.
Yeah.
He's not really got the best result out of that, but at least he got one away. Jason, in theory, I suppose, has still got a trail of about 2 foot to get his 4. Graham will be feeling very relieved after that bowl, I would think. And Jason's a good line.
It's not going to come in. Be
No, just
put a bit
on.
more weight on it for that trail that you mentioned, but the weight hold it out.
So we're into the first tie-break of the first match here at the Jewess Centre in Perth at the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open. And of course things change in the tie-break, Richard. It becomes down to who wins the end. It's not on shots.
That's correct. So nerves are required, steady hand, and some good bowls.
As I mentioned earlier, any qualifier coming into one of these events and playing one of the top 16 would be happy to go into a tie-break before they arrived at the centre. So you've always got a chance. And the way Brett Graham's playing at the moment, he must have a big chance. Tie-break's all about the opening bowl.
Well, it certainly looks a decent opener from Graham. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. And Jason has responded equally well.
Yeah, good ball from Jason there as well. Might force Graham to swap onto the backhand. He's got a bowl or jack there. Rest Jason's bowl out or nudge the jack to his own. Got to be reaching to do that though.
He hasn't played the weight. He'll kick. That'll go off.
He'll be disappointed with that because that was a chance. Jason will probably stick to the forehand now and try and lock this jack away.
Just going to nudge off that. 2 excellent bowls from Jason.
Graham might be forced into a little bit more weight here. Remember, it's the person that wins the end, not how many shots you count.
Well, again, he's just looking for that. His line is slightly better, but what's his weight? He's running too heavy. He'll cross the outside of it. Yes, which
Yeah,
is what he did.
Just got the outside edge. Right sort of pace he wanted, I think. I think he just needed to be a bowl tighter.
Now, will Jason go for cover, or will he look to try and lock that jack? No,
Well,
he's going for cover.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think if I was Graham with my next bowl, you know, you might as well go all out at that, because if you take the 2 bowls out, it puts a lot of pressure on Jason for his last bowl. If you get the jack in the ditch, Jason stays on here. It's just gone into the ditch at the back. There is a good opportunity here for Graham. He likes playing the runners. So I think now's the time to get one of those out of the armoury and try and ditch this jack. He's gone for it. I think
He's
it's too
just too
high.
wide. So,
First end to
first
Jason.
end to Jason.
So of course in a 3-end tie break, Jason's got the first end. That means that if he wins the next end, game would be over. Graham's got to win the next end to stay in the game. imagine Jason will go back to his favoured length.
Yeah, Jason has gone back to the shorter length he's been preferring all the match.
Of course, the shot clock isn't in count for the first bowl, so it does mean that you can take that little bit more time to just make sure you're right, set yourself on the mat and try and nail it with your first. This isn't a bad opener from Jason, a little bit short. Graham's changed his hand. Change your hand, change your luck, they sometimes say. This looks very close. Good ball there. Neither of them really nailed it yet in this game. Jason will be looking to just get past his last bowl.
He's calling it on, but just going to drop a bit short again.
Opportunity for Graham here now. Needs to get a good bowl in there. And it's only a question of slight adjustment on your last. But once you're into a tie break, all those things are very, very difficult with the nerves kicking in and they...
Yeah, well, as you said, it's the nerves kicking in, and there's your result. Just dropped a bit short. So at the moment, Jason is in control.
Yeah, even though Jason doesn't hold a shot here, I still think with his experience, he'll now reach this bowl of Graham's. This is looking good. Shot bowls coming in here. Yeah, good ball, Jason.
Yeah.
Nice and pressure ball back on Graham again. Oh, he's stalking it.
It's all his weight. He's
All on the pace
too heavy.
of this.
He's too heavy. He's just going to run past.
Now, I would think Jason will go the same again. Even if he reaches these two back green bowls, it's good, but if he could just tuck that jack away, it puts all the pressure on Graham McKee, the qualifier from Ireland. There you go, one of those surprising bowls from Jason that you can't call. You must think that Graham's going to go full pelt at this down the middle. As the Crown Greeners would say, to bring out the hammer.
Mhm.
Just thought I'd get that in because I know one or two of the Crown Greeners are listening into this commentary this morning. Lucky he'll be sat at his desk with his cup of coffee somewhere.
Well, has Graham McKee tried that same shot again?
Yeah, and I think
He
he's
has,
overweight.
and he's just gone too far. So Jason Greenslade goes through to the second round.
Where he has a chance to meet his semi-final opponent of last year, Richard. He plays the winner of the Nicky Brett game.
Yeah. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That's your first match of the event over. Join us back shortly for some more. Scotsman has fought his way through qualifiers, gained enough points to become number 16 in the world rankings. It is Scotland's Wayne Hogg.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish International Open 2014. This is our second game here at the Jewess Centre in Perth. As Richard just said, my name's Janice Gower and I'll shortly be being joined by Richard Maddison. It's going to be an interesting game here. We've got Scotland versus Australia. Wayne's fought his way into the top 16, so I'm sure we're in for a cracking game here. Like an interesting opener from Wayne. Well known for being one of the Scottish bowlers that draws his way out of trouble, but has every shot in his armoury as well. Again, like with all games, Richard, the opening ends will just be a little bit feeling the weight, getting used to the crowd for the Australian Clive.
Yes, again, you know, coming all the way from Australia, arriving here a couple of days ago, getting some serious practice in on the green, and of course having to get over jet lag. So it's not easy for them coming in from abroad at all. But again, he came on and he was practicing fairly well.
Looks like a good line here. Just slightly overplayed. Yes, I don't think Wayne will be suffering from jet lag. He's from Glenrothes, just up the road. This will be his closest to the World Bowls Tour events, as will it be for most of the Scottish players here. Wayne actually managed to get himself into the top 16 here last year because he was just outside the top 16 and got called in. Oh, excellent bowl there from Wayne. Got called in when Robert Wheel injured himself and made the most of his chance and got to the quarter-finals, which gave him the ranking points to be here now in the top 16.
Yes, I certainly think that Wayne is one to watch for the future.
But of course we all know how dangerous these Australians can be.
Well, I think once they get settled in, like we said earlier, Janice, you know, they come over, they practice well, but it is different when you step onto the portable with all the lights and the cameras, and the pressure, for some reason, builds up inside you, and it takes them a couple of ends to get into it.
I suppose it's the same with any sort of TV event, sports commentary, anything like that. People are known to freeze under the pressure. We've seen it unfortunately before at events like this. But the Australians do play a lot, and they play a lot of competitive bowls. They have a lot of TV coverage over there, so that's probably something he's quite used to. I don't think, according to my records, he's been here before, has he? But again, got a very good record in Australia.
No, this is his first time he's qualified, first time over here. When he walked in for his first practice and saw the set and everything else, his words to me were, "Wow." Now, excellent bowl.
Great bowl.
Excellent bowl.
Might get him on the scorecard straight off.
It's like everything that is new as WBT try to develop what we do, and of course with the new YouTube streaming, which of course is free now to all and sundry who wish to tune in. Whereas before we did some streaming, but it just used to be pictures only. Now we try and run it with full commentary all the time, and better cameras and better streaming signals. So, you know, we are trying to do our best to promote the game of bowls throughout.
Well, it means, Richard, if people can't actually get to the venue, and of course you can't get away from the fact that the best place to watch the event is actually live here in the venue at Dewars in Perth. But if you can't get there, or if you live millions of miles away, the live streaming does mean that you can watch your friends play at this level.
This is very true. This is what we have attempted to achieve, and time will tell as to whether or not we were successful.
A couple of loose openers there from Clive, but absolutely bang on.
Wayne playing a really good line again, just dropping a little bit short. Of course, Wayne will be looking to come through this event to build up his ranking points, to sustain himself in the top 16 that he's fought his way into.
Yeah, well, he's had a good record, really. He got to the quarterfinals of the World Championships in 2012, and like I say, the quarterfinals here last year. He's now in the top 16, which gives him all three of the ranking events. And Wayne is one of the players that the top 16 will be in fear of.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, over in Australia, Clive is no mean person in his own right. Australian singles indoor semi-finalist. He's a state singles winner, champion of champions winner. So, you know, he's got his own history in the States, in Australia. Can he pull another one, rabbit out of the hat like he did at the last end?
Well, he's putting pressure on himself with his last bowl all the time at the moment. So, but as we said earlier, it's all settling in, early ends in a game.
Well, he's picked a good line. This is down to his weight. Looks like he's still just going to creep round. Well, that was a really good fourth bowl.
Well, Brian Daly, our marker for this game, is having a quick look and he says one red. This looks on the wide side. One shot each after the first two ends. Two nice settling openers for the players. We have the assistant bank manager versus the regional bowls manager here. Two different jobs there. I believe Clive works for one of the bowls manufacturing companies out in Australia.
Yes, well, it's still the one thing about our sport, even at this professional level. Unfortunately, the sport still does not generate masses of income for the players. So all the players have to balance everything they do for bowls with their own full-time jobs, and that was a really good opener from Wayne Hogg.
Yeah, Wayne's setting into his rhythm now.
Clive is still fishing about for his weight a bit. I mean, he's playing a really, really good line, but just fishing about to get his right weight.
Looks good again from Wayne here, running a little bit, but as I mentioned earlier, not a problem if you're just slightly over. Better there than short sometimes. Means if a head builds up, you've got options. Closer reply from Clive there. And Wayne looks in the area again here. Good ball from Wayne. Clive's just short again. Gives Wayne a big opportunity now of just, if it just a little tuck on that jack and get a 4. A lot of pressure on Wayne's last bowl.
Oh, again, Wayne looking for that high line, looking just to drift in nicely. Looks really good. Yeah, drawn it perfectly.
Great bowl.
Well, will we see a little bit of an attack here from Clive?
Well, the Australians are known for the big strikes. If he is 4 down here, there is the opportunity. I might just try and just play over the weight, but we all know what those sort of bowls can do on this this surface. That looks wide to me, Richard.
It does. It does. I don't think he'll get back with that. Again, I think Clive is playing with arrows.
Well,
which don't have they've got a lovely curve, but they don't have that little hook right at the end. So if you don't get your line spot on, they're not forgiving in that respect.
well, that's quite interesting because he lists his indoor bowlers normally a Taylor ace, which is quite a good
Yeah, well,
performer
I think
on this rink.
looking at the, maybe he is playing with an ace. Maybe I've got it wrong, but we might get a closer look. No, it is. It is a Taylor. Yeah, it is. I do apologise. He was trying some arrows earlier on this morning, so obviously decided to stick with his Taylors.
And Wayne, always known for playing with either Tigers or Tiger 2s. It looks like he's out there with his Tigers. Some red Tigers out there. Most of the players tend to prefer a slightly swingier bowl on the portable rink. That's the 4.
Yes, that's unfortunate for Clive. That's a big count to drop because it's not easy to haul your way back.
No, 9 end sets do help for that to some extent. In qualifiers we only play 7 end sets, and once you drop a 4 you've got a hard struggle to get back. But at this level, Wayne now's 5-1 up. He won't want to be letting go of that lead.
A bit of a loose one there from Wayne.
every round for these guys is ranking points, and Wayne wants to get some extra ranking points this year to keep him in the top 16, but there's some good players hot on his heels.
That's a better opening bowl from Clive. Still dropped a little bit short, but fine for the line.
Loose bowl there from Wayne, considering he set the jack. He's a good yard short there. You notice that a couple of ends coming in this direction in the last game. Players just struggling a little bit for the pace. Early days in the game and early days in the event. And Clive's got a big opportunity here of getting another in. Holds 2 at the moment.
He does, and Wayne's last bowl hasn't done him any favours. It sat right on the centre line. Unfortunately, it was short. If Clive can drop one in there now nicely, which he's looking like doing, if he can just hold off, just slide. Yep, there's another one in there. So
Roles reversed at this end, Richard. Clive's looking in command of the end.
he is. But as a non-professional bowler, I know the shot I'd be playing, which would be totally the wrong shot, I'm sure.
Wayne will just try and draw a close one here, try and cut the count down.
Well, he's certainly taken a wide line.
All on its pace.
I think he's
A
running a
bit
bit.
pacey.
He's just going to slide behind, so
Well, now,
It's,
interesting times.
Clive has got the opportunity to pick up a full house here.
He's
Is he
chasing
here?
this in. It looks a good length to me.
Yeah, just going to pop himself in there.
Well, this set, it's a case of anything you can do, I can do. First 2 ends were 1 each. 3rd and 4th ends 4 each. Now stands at 5 shots all, and now we're just starting to play the 5th end. Well, great line. Yeah, good opening bowl.
Yeah, looks like Clive is settling down a bit now.
Well, a count of 4 always helps you to settle down, Richard, when you're playing these sort of games. It means that your opponent hasn't run away from you and you've kept it tight. Good reply from Wayne here.
Yeah, another reasonable bowl from Clive, just a bit through. Wayne looking for that perfect draw.
Just passes his own. Slight adjustment.
Yeah, I believe he's done that. It's coming in quite nicely. Just rest off the edge. Yeah, perfect.
Bowl from
Absolutely
Wayne there.
perfect.
It's 2 round.
Clive's still not quite managing to find that dead weight bowl, but as for picking a line, he's absolutely bob on.
Wayne looks to just be dropping short again here. Again, Clive just got a slight adjustment, needs to drop on that back bowl of Wayne's to get shot. Nothing too fancy, just a nice draw.
Certainly got the right line, all down to his weight. It's looking good.
Weight doesn't look
just
bad
needs
either.
to, oh, just needs to hold, pick it. Well now,
That's a good bowl that was.
terrific bowl.
He's pulling out all the big bowls with his last bowl.
Brian Daly having a look to see what's what.
3 green.
Calls 3 green. Wayne's still going for the perfect draw though.
It's got to be perfect weight with this, Richard, because he's on the high line.
Yeah,
He's just
looks
hanging
like he's
off.
going down for a 3.
Different player out there would have probably played a different shot. Wayne's very much a draw player.
Yeah. So Clive from Australia goes into the lead. Gone for a full length jack, just about 28.5 metres.
Line looks very good, all on his pace.
Where it
Good
doesn't
opener
look
coming
half
this
bad
way.
here.
It's not a bad lead at all coming in this direction.
Wayne just dropping short again. Clive again coming down on a really good line, very good line.
Looks a very good adjustment, Richard. Very
Yeah.
good ball coming
Yeah,
down
it's
here.
really settled into this now.
Wayne's frightened of being short here, I think, so he's just making sure he reaches. Just overreached it a bit. He's chasing this up. Just needs to get past the jack just to reach Wayne's bowl. That's
Yeah,
not a
finished
bad
very
bowl
well.
there. Wayne does tend to just play the drawing bowl. Well, what's his weight like this time, Richard? Because his line's good, but it looks a bit short
No,
to me.
just short on the weight again. As you said, that was a perfect line. I think he, with the right rate, he would have crept in for the jack, but
Well, again, another opportunity here for the man from Australia.
Well, again, the line looks nice. All on his weight.
Yeah, just something
And
in
it
the area
looks
puts
really good.
pressure on Wayne. This is a very good ball
Yeah.
again here.
Well, from the angle on the TV monitor, looks if it could be 3.
4 green.
Well, so once again, Wayne desperately needs to get this bowl in the head. Nice high line,
Yeah, all on
looking for
pace.
the drift. His pace is better than last time, but is it enough? Only marginally better.
He's probably cut one out.
Yep.
It's another 3.
Well, that's putting Clive well in command of the first set now.
Well, he's scored 10 shots in 3 ends, Richard. You don't often see that at this level against one of the top 16, but like I say, these Australians very, very, very consistent.
Well, again, Clive picked a nice line. His weight is looking exceptionally good.
Yeah, he's finding his line
And there
of
we
length
are, look at
now
that.
very well.
Thank you very much. Bang, I'll have that. Thank you. A good line from Wayne, but again, he's just not quite picking the weight. Again, Clive has dropped onto that nice line he's found. And look at this.
Oh,
We'll
excellent
just
bowl
pop
again.
ourselves another one in there. Thank you very much. Makes it look easy. Wayne switching. Line's good. He's definitely got a bit more weight on it this time, but slightly overcooked it.
That's the problem, Richard, when you're trying to find your weight, you can end up being 2 feet through, 2 feet short. It's a lonely place when you can't find your weight out there in singles.
And again, Clive, look at this. We'll just pop another one in there.
Perfect
Just-
positioning as well.
Just fill up my shopping basket, thank you.
Shot ball, what's that? Listen, Jack. How close is that?
Gap is 1 inch.
Yeah, Wayne has tightened his line. He's obviously looking for a little slice of the jack, but not enough.
No, it just holds off with any sort
Yeah.
of pace down that line.
Well, the slightly running bowl is one of the hardest shots to play on the portable. I think every player will say that.
Yes, it's certainly not like playing on a club rink. It's anything 2 foot over, yard and a bit over. It can be very unforgiving.
Clive again, just taking his nice little line that he likes. Well, I think he's dropped short this time.
He could be actually looking to block Wayne playing that shot again, and if that was what he was looking for, he's got it. don't think blockers are the easiest shots either to play on this surface, because normally if you're under the line it is unforgiving and whips away.
Yeah. Wayne not mucking about with this, just
Trying
going
to
for
find
it.
something.
And he did. Look at
Very
that.
good.
Look at that.
Well, they've given him a little bit of confidence back.
Yeah. Good shot to play. Pick the jack up nicely. Jack and bowl in the ditch. Thank you very much.
Well, it's worth shaking it up a bit. He tried to draw himself out of trouble a couple of times, and you sometimes have to change your options. Wayne's a very consistent singles player, got a lot of records in the singles field, so he has got every shot, but in general normally prefers to draw himself out of trouble. Well, he's changed the length of Jack here. He's brought the mat up. Let's see if it changed his look for him.
Well, decent line, but slightly overweight. Let's see how Clive handles it. Well, I think Clive's gone a bit tighter. That will whip. There it
Again, it's
goes.
knowing when you're on the portable rink, even short jacks, you can still put your bowls out wide and they'll still do all the work for you and swing back. Still room for Clive there.
Yeah, Wayne's dropped a good metre short. Yeah, he's picked a better line this time. Just going to trundle down the run. Look at that. Yeah, probably 1.5 foot short of the jack.
When you're 5 up with 2 ends to play, though, you just want to be getting bowls in the head, really.
Yeah.
And that's a bowl in the head for him. And Wayne's dropped short again.
Yeah, Wayne seems to be really struggling to get his weight. His line seems to be all right, but it's his weight, isn't it? See, Wayne was just talking to himself going up the green there. Clive popping one round the corner.
Good bowl here.
Yeah, very good.
Good ball here. Like I say, you don't have to try anything too fancy, but he's put a perfect bowl about 4 or 5 inches behind the jack there. I think we could be into the second set, because this looks wide to me and running.
Yeah. So, the man from Wanneroo in Australia takes the first set.
Yeah, Wayne's got a chance to regroup now and try and find his weight in this second set.
Yes, what will be interesting is whether or not Clive sort of relaxes because he's won the first set, which is a very dangerous thing to do, because when you relax like that, you lose that slight edge, and your opponent normally comes on a bit stronger.
Yeah, well, it's that question of nothing to lose. You might as well, you know, try and find your weight. You've lost the first set. He's definitely changed the length here. Hoping to shake the man from Australia's line and length up. There's 2 ways to look at these sets games, Richard. If you've got a good lead in the first set and you've come off winning it well, which Clive has, you've got to try and power on as if you're playing a 21 up game and just keep going. Whereas if you're on the losing side of it in the first set, you can regroup and think, well, I have got another chance.
Yeah.
Slightly wide again, Wayne.
Well, that helped him a bit. Double knock on his bowls. Clive taking a slightly wider line this time. All on his weight. Looks as if it's curling in nicely. Look at that. Just sliding past Wayne's. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely brilliant.
If he has put a bowl down on the wrong line and been tight, his adjustment's been excellent.
Now, if anything, I think Wayne has gone a bit wider still. I think Wayne is really struggling to find his weight here.
You'll know better than I do, Richard. Has he had much practice on the rink before playing the game?
Yeah, Wayne has.
Yeah.
So they both have. So
Not like Wayne at
man
all.
from Australia is just popping them on there now, like shelling peas. Look.
Yeah, Clive's playing very, very well, but it's very unusual for Wayne to be fishing about for weight and line. Good line here.
Very good. Looks like he's just, unlucky. Didn't quite get it, but certainly disturbed it. Clive holding 2. Not quite.
Opening end of the second set goes to Clive, the one from Australia. He's certainly settled into this well, Richard. It's like I say, we find this all the time with the Australians. They play to such a competitive level over in Australia. The only difference for them is the fact that they're having to do the travel over here, sort out the jet lag. But they are very competitive players.
Well, yeah, and again, in Australia, the sport of bowls is taken very seriously, with many very high-end leagues, very similar to our professional circuit. And of course, their greens over there, on the whole, are fairly fast. So, speed of rinks and everything won't really faze them when they come over here.
Wayne's just made the mistake there of sending the jack into the ditch, letting Wayne set his length. Whether that'll make a difference or not.
I fear that's a bit tight, Clive. Quick slap on the leg as he realised what he'd done.
Better opener there from Hawk.
Yeah. This is more what you would expect
That's
from
more-
Wayne.
Yeah, that's more like it. Good adjustment again from Adams. He's just a couple of feet over, but found that line again.
Wayne coming in well again. Obviously gave himself a little bit of a talking to.
As players at my club would say in the office, have a word with yourself in the office. Great attempt there from Clive, just a bowl high.
Wayne coming in quite nicely. Looks good for weight and line.
Yeah, good counting shot, but also
Well, that's a
very
good shot,
positional.
but there is now a couple of opportunities for Clive from Australia. Thought he would, but he's well off.
That woke a few people up in the audience. Do your headphones any good there?
There's one thing when you fire like that, you have to be on target.
Yeah, there's no options. You've either got to hit the target you're going for with that sort of pace, or
Yeah.
And Wayne hasn't made the most of
Well,
it.
that was an opportunity for Wayne to go for a full house.
As one of the regular commentators on bowls would say to you, David Corkill, that was a chance for a spare and he didn't take it. Three 2 up though in the second set. What's the weight like, Wayne? The line looks very good.
It's not bad. What is it? A couple of foot over.
It's turned into an interesting game, really. Clive Adams has certainly found his weight and line on most of the ends here, and this one looks quite a good
Yeah,
ball
it's
going
coming in
there.
very well here. Just rest off the back of Wayne's.
He's only really had two sort of sloppy ends in the game so far. And it's all about keeping it tight in these sets games, trying to keep close to your opponent, not letting them get away and make the most of your opportunities.
Yeah, Wayne coming in nicely here, just looking to... Oh dear. Just dropping off. Still not quite got his weight.
Wayne will change his hand here if he's still holding shot. This looks slightly tight to me, slightly under.
He doesn't want to whip with the jack. No.
Last shot is red one.
Wayne looking good on this one. Well, that's better from him.
That's more like the Wayne we know.
Well, Clive.
All on his pace here, I think. The line he's chosen is very good.
Has he got it?
Oh, what a great effort.
Well, now.
Now the jack's rocked back, and from where we're sat I can't just quite tell.
One red.
Brian Daly tells us it's one red.
Wayne looking to see if he can add one more to it. His line looks good, but I'm not sure on his weight.
He's urging it on.
Yeah, he's good. Well,
Well, now, that's possibly helped Clive a little bit, even if he is two down. Find out of Brian shortly. Perhaps not, but it gives Clive the chance of a little bit of a shunt on his front bowl. He's got position at the back as well.
He's playing that with weight, but again, as we said before, on the portable rink, to play just overweight and on a tight line, they will not hold. So Wayne picks up a single.
That puts him 4-2 up after 3 ends. Wayne will be on his way to the World Championships in January as well, where I believe he faces fellow Scot Graham Donaldson. So that'll be a battle of the All-Scottish. Again, like I say, it gives him 3 chances to gain vital ranking points. Because he's in the top 16, he gets automatic entry into this. That's a very good opening
Well, that
bowl.
was an absolute perler for a start.
He gets automatic entry into this, the World Championships and the International Open, which is held in March, again sponsored by the Cooperative Funeral Care.
Oh, Clive going a little bit overweight, but his line was perfect.
It's up to Wayne now to pile on the pressure, really. Another count at this end would make a big difference. Looks in the area again, Richard. This is
Indeed,
more like Wayne
yeah.
Hogg.
Now, what are we doing here, Clive?
I think he'll change his
Just-
hand and just try and draw to this back bowl. No point in doing anything too silly too early on. Is he here?
Well, I think he's there. Just depends on his curl. Look at that.
What a great line.
Now
of
that
bowl.
was a cracking bowl. Can't take it away from the man. He's played some good bowls all this match thus far.
A good reply
Well,
from
Wayne's
Wayne here.
trying.
Oh,
Just
how close
skimmed
was
it.
that?
Nudged the jack. Brian's having a look.
Slightly favours red, so the jack must have gone back up to Wayne's short bowl there. Now, it
Well-
depends on the weight of this, because it's one of those again where you're just trying to play that slightly tighter line.
Yeah, just going to go, look. Just going to go. Good effort. Good effort, though.
Excellent end of bowls this. 3 touches out there at the moment. Brian Daly using up his chalk. Tricky ball for Wayne to play here. He's got to really get something else in the head, but there's the danger of just touching the jack through to Clive's bowl. The Australians do play some games under a shot clock system as well, don't they? So that won't be something that'll phase
No.
him either. I remember speaking to both Alec Marshall and Willie Wood over the shot clock a couple of years ago, and they both said that they'd played under a shot clock when they'd been out in Australia. So, but most players are fairly quick now.
Well, Clive, I think you're just going to run past. Good effort.
Yeah,
Good attempt.
Where Wayne positioned his bowl, it just forced Clive to put that ball higher. That gives Wayne a 5-2 lead now, going into playing the fifth end. He's swapped onto his backhand here, Richard. Last time he played in this direction, he put a couple wide on the forehand. Found his line better down there, I think.
Well, again, Clive looking at his nice line. He's drawing this really well, Clive.
It's a big end for Clive here, really. He needs to really stop the rot of Wayne winning ends and just try and get back in it. He's not out of the game. He's only 3 behind. Plenty of ends left. But Wayne's just found his game now. I think Clive's there again. From here it looks like that's going to finish in a really nice place, just behind, just in front of Wayne's. All on pace here, very good line from Wayne here.
Yeah, drawn it
Swinging
perfectly.
bowls. Yeah. straight
Oh,
to the jack.
bowl sat.
One down, right?
Still one to Wayne.
Well, this is all on pace as well. He's in the area.
I think he's just drifted past, yeah.
Great effort.
She's not a million mile away, but at this level,
Wayne will be happy that he's holding shot there. He's got a nice draw to try and tuck the jack. He doesn't want to tuck it too far. A bit of a mutter to himself then as he walked up.
well,
Close again.
just drifting past again. Just, good line.
That puts Wayne in a 6-2 lead, and we're playing the sixth end.
Yeah, Wayne has won the last 4 ends.
Different length of jack. Good start here again from Wayne. Excellent start.
Yeah.
Do you think we could go second match of the tournament and second tie break?
Well, it's certainly beginning to look that way.
There was only 2 tie breaks in the whole of the first round here last year, and we might be getting 2 tie breaks in the first 2 games. that really just shows the standard of quality of players when they do reach these WBT events, though.
Yeah.
As long as the qualifiers settle down quickly, the games can be very, very good, very, very competitive. It's only when people, as you mentioned earlier, freeze.
Clive having another look here. Just come off the edge of that. Or just not quite going to sit down.
That ball to failure, is that Jack out?
This side is 3 inches from jack.
Wayne will just be looking to rest on this side bowl or even tuck the jack. Clive's got a couple of shots there at the moment.
Wayne having a good look there. Just not quite going to make it.
That might make Wayne's mind up for him.
Yeah.
It'll look like a very big target from the mat.
Well, he's thinking about it.
He's played it with that in-between sort of weight again.
That's the hardest way to do, because that's just going to slide on the outside now.
I think I'd have been trying to play that with a little bit more weight. But then that's just me. No, it's a tough shot to play on the portable rink, anything with just a yard on.
Oh, Wayne going for deep cover.
Yeah, I still think the shot's there for Clive. Anything on that, the bowl he just went close to with his foot, anything onto his short green bowl. Might pop the red bowl out. Touch on the jack, pick up a 2 or a 3.
Well, it's certainly the shot that's there to play for.
He does right to take his time because this is important. If you could pick up a 2 or a 3 here, it gets him bang into this set again. Played it with better weight, I think. In the area.
Oh,
Very unlucky that.
oh,
Very unlucky.
the jack's gone forwards up the green.
He was in the right area though, Richard. It was an excellent effort. It just
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
come off for him.
Yeah.
Now Wayne's gone back to his shorter length jack. I think 24 metres was just called.
Yeah.
It's 4 up with 3 ends to play.
Perfect line again. Gone through a couple of foot. Now Clive, is that tight? Yeah, that was
I think the
tight.
answer is yes, it was.
Clive just sneaking past that front bowl. beg your pardon, Wayne, rather.
Close here.
Clive drawing a really good back, back toucher.
Count the times that he's put his first bowl tight and then absolutely nailed it with his second bowl in this game. It just shows how good he's adjusting to the line. Wayne just hanging off. Well, if this is there, if it's reaching, it's the same line as his last. Great ball.
Yep, really was good.
If he's holding 2 shots there, that's the sort of thing he wants at this stage of the set.
Well, if Wayne lets him keep this 2,
Well,
and Clive with the last bowl can add
looks
another
tight and
1.
Short to me.
It is short, so that was quite a slip by Wayne to do that. So if Clive can just drop in a 3rd without moving that jack, because of course Wayne's bowl is sat there ready to receive it. Well, Clive sent it wide enough.
Well, he won't want
It's
to do
all on
any
the weight
damage,
now.
but it's a
No,
chance.
the weight looks unfortunate.
Well, the one thing about that, Richard, it stops the rot of the 5 consecutive ends that Wayne had won.
Yeah, and
7-4
Clive-
up now is Wayne with 2 ends to play.
yeah, only 3 behind, so it's still doable.
Good opener. Just gone a little bit, but still a good opener. And Clive really wants to pick up a 1 or a 2 here. Looking closer with this. Yeah, good bowl
Yeah,
that.
really good bowling from him.
He's putting Wayne under pressure virtually at every end.
Well, the line doesn't look too bad. How's the weight? Just tailing off again. This is what we saw before, Janice, was where Wayne was put under serious pressure, struggled to get the dead bowl.
Yeah, well, the thing there was he didn't really want to be short, because even if he'd have reached Clive's back bowl,
Yeah,
it would have been a good saver. But he's just not finding his consistency here today.
well, Wayne can't afford Clive to pick up a 2 or a 3 on this end, because that really brings him straight back into it for
Well,
match in the.
I think this is an
Well, look at
excellent
this.
bowl.
This is Clive. Clive's just popped another one in there.
Depends on how far he's moved that bowl, that jack rather. Yeah, he has
So-
moved the jack a bit, so
yeah.
it might just be the 1 now, but it's certainly better for Clive now.
Well, it moved the jack backwards slightly, so depending where Wayne comes in with this one, he's looking, just slid all the way through the head.
That's unbelievable.
That's unfortunate. So Clive is now looking if he could rest that back bowl, Wayne's second back bowl, then he could pick up at least a 2 there.
Yeah, well, Wayne's last bowl did actually nudge Clive's bowl slightly closer. Might have just moved it along the carpet slightly. So if Wayne reaches this back bowl, he's choosing to play the forehand again.
I mean, Wayne has still got last bowl, but
So I think
be
I'll
interesting.
Playing down to that
Clive's
bowl
gone
at
slightly
times.
wider.
If he fancies, he's-
Clive has played a safety shot.
Yeah, I was going to say,
not
must
looking
fancy
for.
he's playing. He's holding 2 there. To play a bowl there, you've got to think that he fancies he's holding 2.
Yeah. Little smile from Clive there, obviously enjoying himself out there.
Well, when you're bowling that well, you can enjoy it out there.
Right, Wayne, what's happening? Well, he's gone wide, so
Looking for
he's
the perfect
obviously
draw.
looking for a perfect draw. And I don't think he's got the weight.
Oh dear, Wayne.
No, he hasn't.
Never up, never in, they say.
Yeah,
So,
so Clive will be looking for 2 there. Been given 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clive's not giving anything away.
Dan Blewett, the umpire's been called on to decide here.
Yeah,
obviously not
they're measure-
3, so
no,
it's-
definitely not a 3. They're measuring for 2.
Well, that's interesting. So I'm now thinking that the short bowl of the green bowls must have been the other one that was counting.
Yes.
Because Dan definitely turned out the red bowl there, and it was definitely called 2 shots and nobody argued. So perhaps our position in the commentary box isn't the best for seeing those.
Well, certainly puts Clive in a, I won't say a strongest position, but he's only 1 behind last ending play of the second set.
And a tie would do him, so he only needs to score the 1 shot.
Yeah. And so it's Wayne has really got to pull himself together on this end.
What a good opener from
And that-
Clive there.
Clive setting the benchmark straight away.
It's a bit like a tie-break end. Whoever wins this, if Wayne wins it, we go into a tie-break, and if Clive wins it, the game's over. It's all on the winner of this end.
That would be one happy Aussie into the second round. Well, again, you see, Wayne is getting a good line. He's just not quite nailing the weight. And you can see it on his face, unfortunately. No,
Close again with
Clive
this.
is really piling it in here, you know.
Close again with this.
Yeah. Really good bowling from Clive.
And Wayne's just got a slight adjustment, reach that bowl, rest off it.
Yeah, there is a with the
Nice
two
little
bowls.
catch.
Two bowls. Yeah, I was going to say with the 2 bowls sitting where they are, there's a nice little cushion to come onto.
Didn't like that when he let it go.
Well, he might not have liked it. Well, would you believe it?
I Like I say, he didn't like it when he let it go, but that looked good all the way to the last few inches.
Slid it right through the car park slot.
Well, Clive's sticking with his forehand.
Yeah, but what Clive doesn't want to do now is to build this so that Wayne has a... Well, he won't build it, not with that.
And Wayne's only got very, very slight adjustment here now for the perfect bowl.
Well, he's picked the same line. Yeah, the bowl is starting to work now, starting to bend.
Looks better here.
Has he
on his
got the weight?
Oh, he's
No,
not reached
he's not
again.
reached.
Oh no, that's criminal. Putting an awful lot of pressure on yourself with your last bowl. Oh, it's whether Clive turns to his backhand to cover that through red bowl, or if he sticks on his forehand, does he make the target bigger? I think I'd be playing my backhand to reach that red bowl.
Well, the jack is well hidden, so there's no strike on there for Wayne.
That's
So
what he's
he's-
trying to do,
he's-
cover this bowl.
Yeah. Just going past a little bit, but
Oh, that's not a problem.
it's still there. I mean, Wayne's really only got a dead draw either hand.
Well,
But
it's all
there
on
is
this
nothing
bowl.
else.
Clive standing, looking at going into the next round.
Somebody once told me it's never over till the fat lady sings. Now, Wayne has played a good line.
It looks
This
good.
is now
Good line,
down to his
this.
weight.
Very good line, this.
It's a good line, but
Has it given it? One red.
one red.
We go into a tie break.
One shot to win ball and second set match time.
Yeah, so we're going to the match tie break, and again, for those of you that aren't familiar with this, it's a 3-end tie break, and it is the winner of the end. Shots don't matter, it's just whether you win the end or not. So it's a first to win 2 ends.
Well, Clive's opening it up. Picked a good line. Pretty
Great
good
opener.
weight. Look at that.
That sits down, it's a great opener for a tie break end.
Yes, that's really when you do need to stick your first bowl right on the pill, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. So it's all on who wins the end, not how many shots you're holding. And once you've put a really good bowl up, you then need to cover.
Well, is it me, or has he just gone a bit tighter, Clive? No. Another
doesn't
good
want to
length.
set up his-
Another good length. Just needs to.
Oh, 2
That
great
needs to
bowls.
sit. So that's 2 great opening bowls. So really, Wayne is under serious pressure now.
Wayne's really only got the draw on at the moment on there. Now there's another few players in their top 16 that would probably have had a go at hitting that to try and open it up.
Well, I know at the Super Bowl that we did less than 3 weeks ago, the bowls would have been flying.
Yeah,
They'd
the-
have been off
the-
there
the
by now.
The Crowners wouldn't have been short at that.
No.
Let's open it up and start again.
Yeah. But it's a different style of play, different style of match.
Yeah, we had a couple of dented backboards and a ceiling light put out by some of the strikes. from
Flying
the Crown
jacks, yes
Greeners.
we did. Well, Clive has changed his hand here.
Yeah, I thought he might have gone
It's
for
coming
cover, but
down.
he's just trying to tuck it down. I
Well,
think.
you don't want to be...
That's
well,
not a bad
that's
ball.
all right. That's
Not a
not
bad
bad.
ball.
Shot ball is the gap just slightly underneath.
What is it?
Wayne's still playing the dead draw. His own short bowl is stopping him for a
Short again.
full-out drive, and I tell you,
That's
Now
a
then.
bad ball. But he'll know that himself. It's like you say, a couple of weeks back at the Super
he
Bowl.
will be
it was
he'll
all,
be kicking himself now.
all guns blazing for a lot of the players. The next game up on your YouTube live streaming is actually the Super Bowl pairs champion, Darren Burnett.
It is indeed, yes.
He won the Super Bowl pairs with Chris Lucky Brown. There's no
Right.
luck involved that day.
Right, Clive, where are you going with this? Well, it's interesting. We've not gone for cover.
Well, he's got both spots covered. Well, he's got one spot covered. Whether
Well, that's not
whether
bad
Wayne will
actually,
go for it, I
but
don't
there
know.
is. I can see a bit of a plant there.
Yeah,
But
you
I
see,
don't
Wayne wants
think-
to come and have a look at this because
Yeah, I don't think they'd all go. You see, is that back bowl of Clive's
gonna stay
in the
ahead.
count?
Mm.
I think the three nearest the jacks could go with a drive, but that back bowl would probably stay. And is that in the count?
And that back bowl's definitely covering the spot to the left of your screen.
It is.
And to the right of your screen, I would think it's possibly Wayne's red bowl. It's kind of a hit and hope, I think, unless he just goes for his favoured perfect draw.
No, and that's exactly what he's doing.
It's like I said, Richard, different players see different shots. They know where the strengths are. You've got to be
No,
absolutely bang
not
on
there.
the weight here, and he's short.
So, first end goes to Clive. And the man from Australia is 1/3 there towards his first round success.
Well, it doesn't seem to have phased him. The body language out there has been very, very interesting. He seems to be very, very calm. The winner of this game would meet the winner of that next game up, which is Darren Burnett versus Robert Wheel. Current Commonwealth Games gold medalist versus the last Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Should be a good game if you fancy tuning into YouTube and watching that. But which one of these will face the winner?
Well, I'll tell you what, Clive is looking good again.
He seems very composed, Richard.
Well, for your first time on the portable, he is. Well, doubt this looks a bit better from Wayne.
A lot better
Yeah.
ball from Wayne.
That is, yeah.
Changed his hand. It's Clive here. Don't think he's got the weight.
No, definitely not got
Right
the weight.
idea.
That's going. That's going. Gone. Very close though. Wasn't too far away from doing what he wanted. A bit of a loose one there from Wayne.
Didn't think about it, Clive. Just got on the mat and bowled it.
Yeah, but he needed that bit of extra weight. So how are we looking? It's starting
No,
to bend. It's
same as
going.
his last, I think.
Oh dear.
Great effort. Great effort.
Really good try from Clive.
Wayne really needs to be reaching those bowls now. Taking the shot away from Clive if he can. Looks better. Oh. Now you
Well,
see.
no, that's
That's really set up the shot
Yeah.
now. If Clive can afford to now be a bowl higher.
yes, he can be. Clive
Split
can
the two
afford to
bowls.
be slightly higher and just a tad weightier, but only a tad. Otherwise, it could hold off. So
If he's in the area, he's got the split on the two bowls, he's got the possible trail on the jack. There's a couple of
Yeah.
chances there. Yeah, he does right to just calm himself with a timeout.
yeah,
Big bowl. this.
absolutely.
Big chance. Looks like he's going harder.
Well,
Well,
that's gone.
surprised he went with that amount of weight.
Well,
but,
so am I. I would have thought.
The respot would have given him
Yeah.
shot as well, I suppose.
Right, well, here we go. The last end of the tie break, one each.
Tension mounts then as to who goes into the next round here at the Jewish Centre in Perth. Some good games coming up for you for the rest of today and tomorrow, live on the YouTube WBT YouTube stream. But if you fancy coming on down to the Jewish Centre, it's a great atmosphere in here as well. It's good to watch the top players play in the flesh, so to speak.
Well, that hasn't phased Clive. He's opened up with a good first bowl.
Now, can Wayne find one of those killer bowls? Oh, great line. Just a little bit pacey, I think. Yeah, just a little bit
Well,
pacey.
He's only, what, a foot through, do you think?
It's probably shot at the moment.
But this is where the tension gets into your arms and you don't quite get there. You see now, Clive has now gone a good metre and a half through. This is where the tension gets into your arms and all of a sudden you're not quite popping them on there like you were doing in the other
Easy
ends.
bowls become really hard work.
And this is where, again, people like Wayne and the top 16, been there before, and there you go, look, Wayne says, oh, I'll just pop one in here now.
Like I say, Clive's just qualified for this one. Wayne's guaranteed the other two ranking events as well, so it does give them a little bit more of a relaxed position.
Well, this looks better.
This looks in the
How's his
area.
weight?
Bit
Is he
quick.
running? I've got a feeling he just needs to rest, not... Oh, dear, he's just slid past.
Well, Wayne looks a good height here as well. And just
Yeah.
coming to cover this back bowl, I think. Oh, short.
No, Wayne's dropped
There
it
you go.
short. Now, was that deliberate to try and close that line for Clive?
Well, now it's your choice of weight, really. You're either just drawing, or you can play any sort of weight up to those two red bowls.
Well,
All down to this bolt. He's just gone for drawing weight. Oh, does he like it?
He's heavy.
He's too heavy.
He's far too heavy. So there we are.
That's
Wayne Hogg manages to scramble his way through. In all seriousness, not a brilliant first set. Came back a bit in the second set and then pulled himself together for the tie-break. So Wayne Hogg goes through to the second round.
Next game up this afternoon's at 2 o'clock, and it's Darren Burnett versus Robert Wheel. If you fancy watching it on World Bowls Tour YouTube.
Right, so we'll see you this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Play starts again at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much for watching this morning.
Thanks for your company this morning, all.